Hi there, it's Don from Don Drones On. Way too hot to drone today. It's 33, 34 degrees Celsius here, something like 92 Fahrenheit, plus humidity on top of that. Way too hot to drone. That said, I did drone this morning, but whatever. So anyway, I'm in the lake. I thought, why not do a little list that I've been intending to do a video about, and why not do it right in the lake? Cool. That's the only place to be cool today. All right, so my video is top 10 things that people ask me when they stop and see me droning at the side of the road or in a park or wherever. So first of all, before I get into the list, if you do see me, I might smile, I might wave, but I probably won't want to be chatting with you too much, because when you're flying a drone, you really want to pay attention to what you're doing. It's expensive, it's heavy, you don't want to have it crash into somebody. So I will say hi, but otherwise don't expect me to have a conversation with you. So the first question people often ask me is, what kind of drone do I fly? So I fly and there'll be a picture up there with any luck, DJI Phantom 3 Standard. It's a white drone. It's not a new drone by any stretch. There's lots of better drones around, but I like it. It's really stable, really easy to fly. So that's what I fly. I also have a DJI Spark, which is a much smaller drone, and it's handy because it flies better indoors and in tight spaces, and well, it's kind of fun too. But 90% of the time I'm flying my Phantom. Question number 2 that people ask me. So I have a list in my hand. I'm trying to keep it out of the water. Question number 2 that people ask is, how much did the drone cost? Well, to be honest, I got it as a Christmas present from my very generous son, and so I would never ask how much he paid for it, but you can certainly look up how much one of those things costs. They're not cheap by any stretch, but they're well worth the money. The DJI drones are really good. The next question people ask me, so this will be question 3, is how far can I fly? That's a good question, obviously. All these questions are good. So it flies about 500 meters. I ended up putting a range extender on mine, so if you see me flying, you'll see the remote control has all these antennas sticking out of it. And that's because sometimes, especially over water, you lose reception, and those antennas allow me to fly out to that 500 meter point without too much trouble losing connection to the drone. 500 meters, by the way, is roughly to the far side of the lake there, just a little past, maybe 100 meters past. Next obvious question people ask is, how high does it fly? It can fly pretty darn high. I'd never fly it more than 100 meters above where I'm launching from. Sorry, there's some waves coming in. I never fly above 100 meters, and normally when I'm flying, I'm in the, 30 to 40 to 50 meter range. That would be about 100 to 150 feet. Question number 5 is, how long can you fly for? Like, what's the duration of the battery? It is an electric battery thing. It's got rechargeable batteries. I do have 2 batteries. It runs in the summer for about 25 minutes, maybe a little bit more. You never want to run it right to the end, because obviously you want to land safely. I fly no more than 20 minutes at a time in the summer. It takes maybe 30 seconds to get to the other side of the lake, so lots of time to explore. It goes pretty fast. In the winter, the battery doesn't last nearly as long. I maybe get 10 to 15 minutes before either the battery says it's had enough or my fingers say I've had enough. Next question is it hard to fly? Well, yes and no. It's, for a geezer like me, I found it a little tricky because I don't play video games, and so having all sorts of controls and buttons on the controller, to me that was kind of confusing and not very easy to learn. But once you get used to it, it's extremely easy to fly these drones. DJI drones in particular, like the Phantom or the Spark, are all GPS controlled, so they actually know exactly where they are to about a foot of resolution. And so even if you let go of the controls, they will just hover perfectly still in space until they decide that it's time to come home. And they are actually smart enough to fly themselves back when the battery gets low and land right back to where you launched it. So that is pretty cool. Okay, my list is actually wet now. We may only have 8 questions because I don't know what the last 2 are. Next question, and I've lost track of the numbers and the paper's getting wet. The next question is, have I ever crashed my drone? And the answer is absolutely I have. And I'll tell you, it's the worst feeling in the world. Yeah, I've crashed my drone. Fortunately, I've never taken any damage beyond snapping a propeller, and the propellers aren't all that expensive, so I always carry a spare set of propellers with me. Yeah, in fact, I've got a video up of me crashing on the ice because I was doing something stupid. And that's usually why it crashes, is because it's not because the drone did a mistake. It's the guy behind the sticks. Okay, I managed to read my list. Question number 8 was, what happens if you lose connection with your drone? So what happens if you lose connection is that after a few seconds, the drone says, I better fly home. And what it does is, using its GPS coordinates of both where it is at the moment and where it launched, it will rise to a safe altitude, which you set. I've set it to 40 meters, 120 feet above the trees generally. And it will fly straight home and land straight down where you launched it from. And at any point in that path, if you happen to get connection back, you can connect back to your drone and carry on with the journey. So very nice, very safe, and I've used that feature several times, and it's a wonderful feature, let me tell you. Question number 9 is, do I charge money to take pictures or anything like that? So I don't fly commercially. For me, this is a hobby entirely. But if somebody asked me to do something that I'm not going to normally do, what I ask is that they make a donation to my favorite charity, which is the Sandy Pines Wildlife Center in Napanee. They do a wonderful job, and I just ask the people to make a donation of whatever they feel is appropriate directly to the Sandy Pines Wildlife Center. And that way everybody wins. Question number 10 is, why are you hovering right over me? Well, it's either because I'm talking to somebody asking questions like this, or I've lost connection, or I'm lining up the next shot that I'm going to do, and I need to fiddle with controls and things like that, in which case it will be hovering in one spot. Very rarely am I hovering over what I'm actually taking a picture of, so you don't have to worry. I'm not spying on anybody. I really respect people's privacy, and if I'm hovering in one spot, it's because either something's wrong and the drone is trying to figure out how to get home, which it does for about 5-10 seconds, or I'm lining up the next shot. So that's it. Those are my 10 questions that I get asked all the time. If you have any other questions, you can drop them in the comments below, and I'd be happy to answer them for you anytime you want. And what do you get asked? If you're a drone flyer, do you get asked any other strange questions or normal questions? Let me know. Comments below, like, subscribe. I'm not sure if I got the right directions, but anyway, you'll see the red button if you're not already subscribed. Thanks a lot. Talk to you later. Now, question number 11 is, what editor do I use when I'm editing my videos? I use Cyberlink Power Director 15, and it has wonderful features in it. And one of them is the new fade to underwater scene.